Chapter 2775 Opportunities and Challenges 1. And the core of this delegation, without a doubt, could only be that man. On the helipad of Yunk Manor in Tianhai City, Zhang Yi, dressed in black battle armor, calmly greeted his old friends who had traveled from afar. First to disembark was Arthur, King of Britannia, clad in golden lionheart armor and with the sword in the stone at his waist. His expression remained resolute, but a hint of undisguised worry lingered between his brows. Following closely behind was Benjamin Morgan, the de facto ruler of Colombia, dressed in an expensive suit, a large gold chain around his neck, and always fiddling with a gold coin in his hand. As a representative of capital and technology, his eyes always gleamed with calculation. And because of the sheer amount of gold and jewels he wore, Zhang Yi couldn't even remember what he looked like. The only impression was 3 words: dazzling. A gust of cold wind swept by, and Morana, the goddess of winter, of Fremont, arrived, treading on frost. She remained as aloof as a lotus atop a snow-capped mountain, but her eyes brightened noticeably the moment she saw Zhang Yi. This warlike northern warrior, having witnessed Zhang Yi's current strength, felt a greater affinity for him. Admiration for strength is a warrior's instinct. Finally appearing was a tall, slender man in a black robe, clad in golden armor, with a lean yet sharp-gazed Emperor Saladin of the Khotan Empire. The Khotan Empire, having annexed several surrounding chaotic small kingdoms and absorbed a large number of wandering superhumans, had become a top-tier empire on Earth, boasting both a vast population and territory. Saladin's aura was even more unfathomable than it had been a few years ago, as if a black flame burned within him. This was the current pinnacle of human power in the 6th generation. Zhang Yi, Chaos, of the Huashu Kingdom. Britannia, King Arthur, Arthur Pandoragon. Colombia, Adam Smith, Benjamin Morgan. Freeman's Goddess of Winter, Morana. The Khotan Empire, Shadow Emperor, Saladin. As for Indra of Bharata and the Pope of the Monarchical Church, having already pledged allegiance to the ancient civilizations of the Three-Headed Clan and the Feathered People, they naturally wouldn't appear in this autonomous camp belonging to 6 generations. Gentlemen, it's been a long time.
Zhang Yi nodded slightly, acknowledging the greeting.
Lord Chaos.
King Arthur spoke first, his tone heavy. The winged race's sudden convening of this conference is clearly an attempt to seize control of the Star Corridor. Add to that the Tyrannosaurus clan and the Nightmare clan's covetous eyes, this journey is fraught with danger. Benjamin Morgan sighed, yes, although our strength has improved in recent years, to be honest, facing such a behemoth that has existed for several eras, we still feel uncertain.
The crowd's spirits were somewhat low.
Although Zhang Yi's victory 2 years ago was brilliant, the world-ending pressure from the Star Corridor and the intricate web of interests among the myriad races still weighed heavily on their minds. Seeing the anxious expressions of these human leaders, Zhang Yi simply smiled.
What are you afraid of? He turned around, his gaze fixed on the distant horizon. In this era, escape is impossible. Disaster won't avoid you just by burying your head in the sand. Bring it on, let's face it. Since they've set the stage, let's put on our show.
The composure and confidence emanating from Zhang Yi instantly infected everyone. That was the confidence that came from countless battles fought through mountains of corpses and seas of blood. Just kidding, the key was that he had the Dragon Clan protecting him, otherwise Zhang Yi would have already fled. Let's go, don't keep those winged birdmen waiting.
Zhang Yi waved his hand, and everyone boarded the super battleship, the Dreamer.
The Dreamer took off, transforming into a streak of light, flying towards distant northern Europe.
Through the panoramic porthole, the 5 human leaders looked down at the familiar yet unfamiliar land beneath their feet.
Now, Earth, after more than a decade of geological changes, had undergone earth-shattering transformations. The Earth's surface area had expanded dozens of times. The once compact continental plates had been stretched and torn apart, filling the gaps with countless previously unseen primeval forests, rugged mountains, and vast inland seas.
It's truly unbelievable.
Morana gazed at the lush primeval forest below, her beautiful eyes filled with awe. There, herds of mammoths strolled leisurely, and pterosaurs with wingspans exceeding 10 meters circled overhead.
Those prehistoric creatures, once only existing in fossils and textbooks, now walked vividly on the earth.
This is a miracle of life, and also the Creator's wicked humor, Saladin said calmly. The unfolding of the landforms has released not only the land itself, but also the ancient ecosystem sealed within this folded space.
Yes, in just over a decade, everything has changed dramatically.
Zhang Yi stood by the porthole, looking at this magnificent landscape, his heart filled with emotion. From a post-apocalyptic world where neighbors shared a few ribs, to a prosperous age where countless races coexist and mythology revives, the world has changed so rapidly it's breathtaking. All we can do is grow stronger, strong enough to hold onto our own little corner of the world in this ever-changing landscape.
2 hours later,
the dreamer arrived at its destination Anzin in northern Europe.
When the city came into view, even the most worldly wise observers couldn't help but take notice.
This was more than just a city, it was a miracle. Built against a mountainside, its massive white walls stretched for hundreds of kilometers, countless Gothic-style buildings with spires rising into the sky. The entire city was bathed in a sacred golden light, and the air was filled with the faint strains of hymns. In the sky, countless winged warriors, clad in silver armor and with pristine white wings, patrolled. They were elegant and handsome, like an army of angels from mythology.
On the outskirts of the city lay densely packed human settlements.
These were the followers of the Holy See. Tens of millions of ordinary people lived here, dressed in simple winter clothing, working from sunrise to sunset, spending countless hours each day in prayer and worship. Technological civilization seemed to have regressed in their lives. They were more accustomed to creating everything they needed with their own hands. They reduced their desires for material things, but enriched their spiritual world. Although their lives were simple, everyone's face radiated a fervent and happy smile, as if living under the wings of angels was the greatest blessing. Zhang Yi crossed his arms and looked at them, thinking of the secret religious followers in the southwest region and the Fang Wolf clan who abandoned technology to strengthen their spirit and body, and seemed to feel a sense of resonance.
Cultivating oneself is indeed the closest way to the ether.
It's just that the orthodox cultivation methods are far too slow.
Chapter 27, 76 Opportunities and Challenges 2. I don't quite understand.
Benjamin Morgan shrugged, frowning as he looked at the crowd kneeling below, like ants, a hint of a businessman's bewilderment flashing in his eyes.
He said to Zhang Yi and the others.
The feathered people are a fourth-generation, godlike civilization. Their technology and individual strength far surpass ours. Why go to such lengths to protect these weak, ordinary people? In their eyes, these people aren't even considered labor, they're a complete burden. This doesn't make sense in terms of input and output.
For faith.
The one who answered him was Saladin, who had been silent all along. The Shadow Emperor looked at the followers of the righteous monarch below, his eyes terrifyingly deep. Lord Morgan, you value material things too much. In this world, the purest and most powerful force is actually psychic power. Zhang Yi and the others all turned their gazes to Saladin. As one of the leaders of some of the world's largest religious sects, no one understood the power of faith better than him. Saladin's gaze was deep as he looked at the righteous monarchs, speaking with a hint of apprehension. Each individual may seem insignificant, but deep within their souls are connected to the ether sea. When the wills of millions, even billions, are unified, when all their desires, worship, and fears are directed towards the same goal.
Saladin extended a finger and gently tapped Anzin below.
That converged power of thought is enough to shake the rules, even create gods. Many may appear to be ordinary people or low-level superhumans, but they possess the potential to become epsilon-level powerhouses. Through religious indoctrination and brainwashing, the more devout their faith, the stronger the resonance of their souls, and the more powerful the spiritual fuel they unleash.
The feathered people aren't doing charity, they're shepherding sheep. Hearing the word shepherding, everyone felt a chill.
Treating humans as livestock to provide faith, this method was far more chilling than direct slaughter.
Zhang Yi turned to Saladin, a meaningful smile playing on his lips. Your Majesty, Saladin seems quite knowledgeable about this. If I remember correctly, the number of followers in your assassin sect isn't much less than that of the Holy See, is it? Now, your power also intrigues me greatly.
Faced with Zhang Yi's slightly probing words, Saladin simply smiled humbly and gave a slight bow.
Compared to your Majesty Chaos, I am far inferior.
I am merely a seeker groping in the darkness, while you are already a pioneer standing in the light.
Zhang Yi smiled slightly, neither confirming nor denying.
Regarding the power of faith, it was a legitimate heretical cultivation method that could allow extraordinary individuals to quickly possess extremely powerful strength, even a near-immortal body. However, Ling had warned him not to easily touch the power of faith, lest it bring misfortune. Furthermore, races like the dragons also kept this ability a closely guarded secret. Therefore, Zhang Yi was very clever. Although he didn't understand everything, he learned from those more capable than himself. Thus, he used his faith power only to a limited extent, merely enhancing his battlesuit.
While the group chatted casually, the dreamer slowly landed in the designated area outside Anzi City. A hatch opened, and 5 human representatives stepped onto this sacred land. The instant they landed, Zhang Yi waved his hand, and a massive spatial vortex appeared, directly drawing the enormous spaceship into another dimension.
This ability to manipulate space within the confines of one's sleeve was something the other 4 leaders envied countless times. In this era where resources were king, possessing a portable giant warehouse and mobile fortress was practically the ultimate cheat code.
Let's go, we can't be late. Zhang Yi straightened his collar and led the way towards the main gate of Anxi City.
Representatives of the feathered race were already there to greet them, smiling and pointing out the way.
However, the indifference in their eyes clearly showed they didn't take the 6th generation delegation seriously. Sigh, even the 4th generation is so mercenary. Human civilization really is just endlessly cycling, not really progressing. Zhang Yi and the others muttered to themselves as they walked towards the central area of Anxi City. However,
just as the 5 of them were about to step through the 100-meter-high white sacred gate, and could even clearly see the welcoming winged guard lined up inside, a sudden change occurred.
Without any warning, without any energy fluctuations, the scene before Zhang Yi's eyes underwent a dramatic transformation in an instant.
The once sacred and pristine city of Anxi disappeared, the bustling crowd vanished, even the sun in the sky disappeared.
In its place was a suffocating crimson.
Zhang Yi's body tensed instantly, instinctively activating the power of the void bathrobe, his hands hanging at his sides, ready to unleash his strongest attack at any moment. However, he didn't act rashly, but cautiously observed his surroundings. King Arthur and the others also gripped their weapons, instinctively standing back to back. The surrounding space twisted in an extremely eerie way, as if countless enormous red ribbons were descending from the void, wrapping the 5 of them in layers. From above, the scene would be both spectacular and terrifying.
The once peaceful space was cleaved into countless independent fragments by these red ribbons.
These ribbons were not solid entities, but rather highly compressed and folded spatial barriers. They meandered and spiraled like the Yellow River, blotting out the sky and forming a massive, enclosed labyrinthine array. Red light filled the sky, and boundless killing intent filled the air.
Damn it! What's going on?
King Arthur instantly drew the sword from the stone, golden sword energy erupting as he swung his powerful arm, attempting to cleave through the red curtain before him. But the sword energy struck the red ribbons like a mudox sinking into the sea, not even causing a ripple.
This is a trap. A trap for us.
Morana's voice was icy cold, her icy blue eyes gleaming with a cheetah-like chill. The surrounding temperature instantly plummeted to near absolute zero, yet the red spatial barrier remained unmoved.
Zhang Yi's gaze turned icy cold in an instant.
However, ripples of emotion stirred within him.
Even now, he couldn't remain completely calm. Why did things change so suddenly?
I've never taken risks in my life, not even to attend this meeting.
I've had this time hand activated the entire way. My eyes have been focused on the next 5 seconds. But, in my premonition just now, we clearly entered Anxi City without incident. But why? Why was the future altered? Where exactly did things go wrong?